In this session we're going to learn about YouTube thumbnails and this rather strange looking URL which has some huge implications. So if you haven't seen it, the idea is that we're talking about YouTube generally to introduce this topic, and we can see that the National Geographic have been doing some live, and there's a lovely looking wolf here from Yellowstone. So what happens if miraculously we can get access to this rather tasty looking thumbnail from that channel? And that's why I'm introducing this topic. It first started for me when I was at one of my other channels, or whatever channel, and I tried to download the image, and what actually happened, which I'll demonstrate in a second, is it didn't download the thumbnail from that YouTube video. What it did is opened up that other URL. And so as a bottom line point on here, this screen is from youtube.com/my videos and the video, not from the newer studio YouTube. That is slightly different. So getting back to what we're actually looking about in a second is the implications in a Google search. So what I suggest we do is have a little look of how we can introduce this topic. So as a demonstration, we can go on anywhere on YouTube if you like, and we can see that we've got the wolf here. So that's a lovely looking image. How do we get access to it? So the actual image sits here. It sits in YouTube imaging. I don't know if it's called that, but I guess YT stands for YouTube. And then you've got the URL that I've substituted to make the image work. So that's one bit of it. Let's go on to the other bit just to tie up a loose end here. This is YouTube Studio. With the particular video on one of my other channels, there is a download button for this thumbnail. If I hit it, then what happens is it's opening up with i9.ytimg.com and a load of big old stuff. It does actually have the max default JPG in there and a load of coding after it. The way I actually got it was actually to go to old school, or the original YouTube video manager, and I'm just going to make this a bit bigger so you can actually see what I'm clicking on. So if you are here, and say this is one of my other channels, let's say as a demonstration I wanted to get this image downloaded to use it. When I click it, it used to download to my hard drive of the computer. Nowadays it does not. It actually opens up on this standalone URL. So that's the thing really, is saying, well, what does that actually really mean to us? So let's do a slight reverse thing with implications in search. So what I've done in an incognito window is I've typed my name, Mike Downs, Vegas Movie Studio, which is something I was working on recently. What happens is a load of my images turn up. Let's have a look at one, shall we? Let's have a look at one 16 hours ago. Yeah, let's try that one. So here's one of mine. Notice it's a YouTube URL, and we click on it, and there is the image. So we can actually see it. Now if I wanted to visit it, just on the bottom left of the screen, I can tell you that if I clicked there, the video itself would be open. It never goes to a website as such, or the image. However, of course, you can right click and do an open image in a new tab. The moment we do that, the new tab opens, and bingo, there is our thumbnail at 1280 by 720. That's how it works. So if you wish to go back and do a search on anything, so let's just try a little one here called National Geographic, and I'm going to say live here, just to go back to say if we were looking around. We need one that's actually possibly YouTube, so that one looks like one. No, it doesn't. So I'm just padding for a bit of time here, sorry, as a demonstration. So if I said YouTube, let's say we had a look, yeah, there's one, look, 1920 by 1080, interesting. We click it once. Is that a thumbnail? If I hovered over visit, I would actually visit the YouTube and play the video. If I clicked open image in a new tab to have a look at that image, I would actually get a huge image actually of 1920 by 1080. So it's not just 1280, and that is the thumbnail for National Geographic Live on that video. Moral of the story is that we can track back on this and go and visit pretty much any of our YouTube thumbnails that we wish to from our own channel or from other people's channels. So interesting. So if I don't want to do anything else. I've explained it. I've taken up a lot of people's time. So in other words, what I want to say is the one you need to remember is the one from the top, which is, let's just go up a bit, go up a bit, and go up a bit, and go up a bit to this one. So the image that I would actually memorize, you can if you want, is i.ytimg.com/vi, guess that stands for video, / substituting the 11-digit YouTube video code, and then maxresdefault is what it's always called, apart from, I think it's called something like HD res default or something like that. There is a different one knocking around, but hey, that is up to you to have a look. But I would say that's taking one example here, and I'm big fan of the National Geographic channel, is some of those images like this one here of here's why scientists are colouring birds' heads. If I wanted to see that particular image, I would have to scan the whole 134 to find it, or I could actually find it immediately, of course, as I demonstrated with the picture of the wolf. And so that was it, I think, from that one. YouTube thumbnails and this big long URL, which I think does have an implication for a Google search if you are looking around to get your work looked at and shared and find other people's stuff.